As a Lord of the Rings fan, Matt Brawley surely had tons of fun producing the beginning of the end, considering that the whole episode is basically one big reference to the trilogy. But the connection between the two pieces of media runs way deeper than a mere reference. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how The Lord of the Rings reveals the ending of Amphibia, the three armies coming together to fight the Battle of the Last Alliance, Andrias the Giant entering the battlefield personally, and the whole rebellion thing just to cover up a stealth mission that is on the verge of failing when the main characters are caught. All of this can be paralleled to certain points in the Lord of the Rings books and movies, most notably The Return of the King, what suggests that Matt used the series for some inspiration regarding the final chapters of his own story. By adding the War of Warlocks movies into the last episode, it seemed like Matt was screaming at us to finally understand that we are looking at the Lord of the Rings 2.0, and that if we only realized, we would know how the show will end. Among others, the most important hint are the end credits. Marcy is watching the scene of Frodo standing on the edge of Mount Doom, having the chance to destroy the ring. Let me briefly illustrate what happens in this scene, because as you will see over the course of this video, the very same events will come to pass in Amphibia. Frodo has this one chance to end it all, but he can't, for the corruption of the ring has become too great and has taken a hold of him. Despite his friend Sam carrying him the last meters and protecting him from enemies, he can't destroy the One Ring until Gollum shows up, another being obsessed with the ring. After a short struggle, Gollum is triumphant, but the win comes with a price. Trying to catch the ring, he falls into the lava and dies along with the ring and Sauron, whose life force was bound to it. In this scenario, obviously the ring is represented by the Calamity Box, the one object whose fate decides the future of all. Anne is Frodo, the keeper of said object and the person intended to destroy it. Sooner or later, Anne will get the opportunity to destroy the Calamity Box. She doesn't know yet, but likely this is the only option to put an end to all world conquests for all time. However, even though she was working towards that goal for so long, she won't be able to see it through. When it comes down to it, and she only needs to take a single swing at the box, it suddenly dawns on her that she will never see the Plantars again. Although this is probably her only chance, she hesitates. Fortunately, Sprig is there too, her best friend, always wanting to make sure Anne is safe, steps in front of her to protect her from the approaching Andrias. In that moment, the red letter he picked up earlier falls out of his pocket and catches Andrias' attention. Due to the letter Leaf wrote to Andrias, he decides to betray the core and smashes the Calamity Box. Despite Andrias and Gollum being extremely different characters, at the same time, their ultimate purpose in the story is the same and goes way beyond being the ones to destroy the magic objects. In the end, Gollum was not redeemed. His inner Smeagol lost, and he felt the precious was the only thing he ever cared about, the only thing he could truly trust. Likewise, Andrias will not be redeemed either, at least not in the eyes of Anne, Sasha, Marcy, and all the other people he's hurt. The only one he wants to make peace with is Leaf. After reading her letter, he decides to do the right thing, not because he really believes it is right and because he feels remorse for his past actions. In reality, in Andrias' opinion, it is what Leaf would have wanted, and thus he acts exactly like Gollum, considering that his final deed is dedicated to pleasing himself and the only person he ever truly cherished. Not to mention that ultimately, like Gollum with the ring, Andrias was also obsessed with the music box. At last, the evil has been expelled from this world, and the heroes have fulfilled their duties. Unfortunately, Anne must now leave the Plantars. It's probably for the best though, that she gets to heal in her own world, far away from all the hurtful experiences she's made. And that's another very beautiful parallel to Frodo leaving Middle-earth for the Undying Lands because of his physical and mental trauma. Let me know in the comments which Lord of the Rings characters you think the Amphibia characters would be respectively.